So it's great to be here. My name's Paul Newnham, the Director of the Sustainable Development Goal 2 Advocacy Hub, and we're in Dubai at the World Expo Dubai 2020. And as part of Food, Agriculture and Livelihoods Week, which is on this week, is the Food for the Future Summit. And it's been amazing to see so many countries in the world, so many leaders from across different sectors, from government, private sector, civil society, all coming together to debate, discuss, and share what good food for all can look like. Talking about the Sustainable Development Goals, talking about innovation, talking about government policy, talking about how we connect and collaborate to ensure that we deliver food that is good for not only people, but also for our planet and our prosperity. So I think, the 2021 was an amazing year where we saw food systems rise on the agenda. Food systems that connect and integrate some of the areas in which we've sometimes been working in silos or we've been working in parallel. We've seen things come together. Everyone's coming to the table recognizing the power that food systems and the work on food systems can have to drive forward change. So, some priority actions. I think we need to make sure that the work that's gone in, the investment that's gone in the past year, UN Food Systems Summit, CFS, COP, all of these investments that we've made in time, resources, and energy, the commitments that have been made by our leaders are not forgotten, that we now move them forward into action. There were national pathways. So many countries committed these national pathways. How do we deliver? How do we ensure that these are happening and not being talked about in 2, 3, 4 years, but actually moving forward and seeing actions? I also think we need to move forward. We've had food elevated at COP in Glasgow. We saw this happen in COP 26. We need to see COP 27 in Egypt take that further. We need to then have that backed up and followed through in less than 21 months here in the UAE, being with COP 28. We need to see these COPs build on each other. We need to accelerate the rate of change and we need to move forward. I also think, one of the things we need to do is really prioritize smallholder farmers. There's been lots of conversations about the role smallholder farmers play that produce up to 80% of the food that we eat. We need to help think about a much more connected and joined up investment strategy for driving forward transformation and change to accelerate SDG2 and make sure that we are hitting our Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. We need to turn this around and get it back on track. So the CFS has always been the key moment in the year where countries come together with civil society, with private sector, all of the stakeholders, the ecosystem gathers. It gathers in Rome and it talks about the work that's been going on through the year. It's not just the work is at the meeting, it's the work has been happening. The policy work, the investment, the discussions, the negotiations, the consensus between people on what are those priorities, what are the ways we're going to move forward. And I see CFS playing a critical role to continue the work that happened at the UN Food Systems Summit, to take that work forward and to see that implementation, to see that accountability being driven. We are working on the consensus for smallholder farmers, and it draws on the voluntary guidelines that CFS has led. These voluntary guidelines are a great way to drive forward policy change. They are a great way to ensure that things are connected and joined up, that they're not just looked at in isolation. And so I think this is really, really key. And I think if we can actually start to get those voluntary guidelines talked about, engaged with, and really connected into these national pathways that are going forward, we're going to be seeing some really good results.